What is going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. For those of you that are new here, my name is Afzal Hussain. You can find out a bit more about me through the social media links below, or you can check out my website, which is www.afzalhussain.com. Okay, now a lot of you are probably sat there thinking, why are these first year graduates out of university getting paid so much? The average UK salary, considering people of different levels in the organisations and hierarchies, is around £33,000. So why is a first year analyst or a recent graduate going into a bank and getting paid £50,000 on average? It might confuse you, and the reason is a lot of these roles you're working anywhere between 12 to 20 hours a day. So let's take the middle of that. You're working around 16 hours every day. 16 hours of your time is a lot of time, so it's practically you're working two jobs. So if you have 50k, you're earning 25k for one job. So you're working a lot of time, you're giving up a lot of your personal freedom in order to do these jobs. People say time is money. I don't believe that. Time is better or worth more than money, but because you're giving up so much time, you need to be compensated accordingly, and so that's why analysts are paid so much. But also it's important to note, you know, when you're going into the financial services, all of these investment banks, they make a ton of profit, they make a ton of revenues, they make a ton of money, right? And if you're in the finance sector, you're dealing with money, so naturally there's a lot of money to compensate employees with. Each analyst is probably contributing, in the grand scheme of things, 10 times more than the amount they're being received in compensation. You've got 100 analysts, they're all going to be working together. The work that they do helps the associates, helps the VPs, helps the managing directors. These people go and execute, they do deals. These deals go on to make revenues for the companies of millions, billions of pounds. And so a 50k salary is a drop in the ocean. And that's why these figures sound like a lot to the average person, and they are a lot. However, the amount of time and effort that is going into the company through the analysts and the amount of profits that the companies are making makes it mathematically rational for these investment banks to pay first year analysts or recent graduates such large amounts of money. You contrast that with the, let's take medicine for example. The National Health Service, medicine, they pay their first year doctors anywhere between £25,000 and £30,000 depending on your location across the UK, which we're talking about. Similarly, first year doctors work extremely long hours. They work under immense pressure. They have lives at their hands, you know. High risk, high demand, lots of pressure, stress, lots of long hours. However, because the national health system isn't a private industry, it isn't a private company, it isn't an investment bank making lots of money, making lots of profit, there isn't a way to kind of pay the first year doctors, the junior doctors, as much money as the investment banking analysts are receiving. It's two completely different industries, and so the investment bankers, they're dealing in money, they're making lots of profits, making lots of money. The analysts can get lots of high base salaries and bonuses. Contrast that with the doctors, the industry doesn't have a lot of money or nowhere near as much money as the world of corporate finance, and so the pay scales are very different. Some of you might be asking, why don't the investment banks just hire more analysts? It's the culture of investment banking. You naturally work long hours and you work hard, you're working on deals for long periods of time, and then the reward is a nice bonus at the end of the year. Now, I've touched on and I've explained how, you know, £50,000 a year is a lot of money for a first year analyst. There's two sides of every coin, right? So some of us might see it as a lot of money. On the flip side, others might say living in London is expensive, £50,000 is nothing. I want to break it down to you and show you that, you know, it sounds like a lot, but let's break it down and show you that, is it a lot? It's questionable if we consider the per hour pay. So if an analyst is earning a base salary of £50,000, that's, let's say, 50 weeks in a year. There's 52 or 48 depending on how you calculate it. Let's just take 50 weeks in a year. 50 weeks in a year to earn a base salary of £50,000 is around £1,000 every week. £1,000 a week, if you're working 5 days a week, is £200 a day. £200 a day if you're working, we're not going to say 20 hours, we're not going to say 12 hours, we're not even going to say 16 hours. Let's say you're working 14 hours. £200 a day over 14 hours is about £14. So what's that? It's around $18 for the American viewers there. $18 an hour, £14 an hour. That is what a base salary of £50,000 in an investment banking role gets you, because you're working so many hours. Now, really and truly, you're not going to work 14 hours, you're working a lot more hours. And so that £14 is actually around £10. an hour, which is $14. So, you know, when you do the maths, it sounds like a lot of money, but for the time you're giving up, you have to ask yourself, is it worth it? And that brings me on to my next point. Is it worth it? For me, I encourage students to go into the world of investment banking primarily because it is a bloody good platform. It's a great platform to start your career, whether you think it's ethically right or wrong, whether you think they're crooks, the bankers caused the financial crisis, what have you. Your opinions are your opinions, but starting a career in the world of investment banking, medicine, engineering, law, all of these top industries are great platforms. And the reason why investment banking is a great platform is threefold. And I'll do a separate video on this. But briefly speaking, three main reasons. It is more than anything, investment banking, the world of corporate finance, the world of asset management, sales and trading, whatever it is a great platform for any student to enter and embark on a journey on. It's a great platform. You learn so much, not just technical skills and technical knowledge about finance. You learn and develop so many soft skills, interpersonal skills, communication skills, teamwork, leadership, how to manage a situation, how to work with different people. You're working constantly under pressure, you're learning to do so many different things, multitask, etc., etc. So you're learning a lot. And thirdly, when you join a company like a Goldman Sachs or a JP Morgan, whichever investment bank it is, their brands hold a lot of weight. The brands are very powerful. And so when it comes to exit opportunities, it's easy or it's not so difficult to kind of do something different or go to a different company because it's very attractive that you've worked at a very recognized and prestigious and established institution. If you found this video useful, it would mean the world to me if you hit like. If you hit like and I get over 500 likes, I'll be doing a video on bonuses because today I focused on base salaries. We're missing the bonus component, so I'll do that video. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. I do weekly videos every Wednesday, and when I do more than a weekly video every Wednesday, I make sure I mention it on Instagram. And so if you follow me on Instagram, you can also have an influence on the content that I produce. So thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Please share this video with any students, any graduates, anyone whom you think might gain some value from its content, and I will catch you next time. Peace!